Okay, so as promised, we are going to watch the game that was played this morning between USA and Norway in the finals. So it is 2-0 in Norway's favor at this stage of the competition. So we have Star Crossing and Night's Watch Valyrian Steel, and this is the Norway deck. So nothing weird that I can show you in this one. It has one copy of Winter Festival, and the plots, the one that you don't see in most crossing decks is Wardens of the North, which is an interesting one. You can manipulate the challengers, so attack with something weak, and opponent has to make really tough decisions. And also there is a copy of Rick here, so if it's something in shadows, it's not necessarily Mira, but it's Rick that could completely ruin your game by coming in and suddenly participating in a challenge that you've left unopposed. So that's a neat little trick. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward. It's just gonna try to do challenges and trigger superior claim, and the restricted list basically caused it to lose the event, what's it called, passing the black gate, but instead it's the crown still here, so you can play that into a Morgulis or a Madkix command or a First Snow, and the board's not going anywhere. And what's this up against? So the USA Night's Watch deck, yes, I like the plots, has both Morgulis and Harris. The problem is that in this matchup, any resets, I mean, the tempo hits, opponent's gonna get a bunch of power if they can remarshal, and if you play one into the crown, you've kind of ruined it. And yeah, loan from the Iron Bank in this one, you don't see that often at the gates. Is gonna lose your initiative, so Star Crossing is gonna be allowed to go second in the opening round, which is not that fun. And Smith, okay, can kneel the armories, so I guess Stark, you have to kneel them before Smith is played. So the plan here is to defend the wall. Can play fresh recruits to find the right characters. Maybe Pinch could be a factor. Play that on Daisy or something when she already has some renown. And there is a little bit. I think I remember from one of the previous games, yes, that it has some characters that are slightly less typical. There is one copy of Jon Snow. It's not the worst thing in the world, right, against crossing if he's in play and you can defend without spending your characters, but he does cost 7, and yeah, there's no time really. And the one big problem here also is that Winter Festival is guaranteed. I know last year I had this matchup and I was preparing, and it was against a deck that played I think 1 or 2 Winter Festivals, and I didn't have any summer plot in my version either, and could not win a single one in testing. And then there was another matchup we had later where we played the Stark side against a deck that played exchanges, the restricted card, the Night's Watch deck, and it was blocking Winter Festivals, and it had some kind of chance. And then of course we also had like the worst game ever, because we didn't get a military icon for 2 rounds and got aggroed by wall defense. So that was just how it happened on the day. So never any guarantees. So I think we can jump into the game, if I can find this and have it work. Should be. Hope you can see that. So let's play. Yeah, of course they had to start even earlier than what was advertised, so I missed the start. We missed round 1, and you can see that superior claim in the discard pile. It was an intrigue hit, I checked later, so it wasn't played, but even without that, Star Crossing got 6 power in the opening round. As you can see, there's Septum Ordained that gives Sansa renown. There is Arya with all the icons, she's immune to plots, and there's dupes, so can't Morgulis, can't do Harris very well. So Night's Watch already kind of against it, but one thing in their favor, Milk was played on Greyjohn in round 1 during the challenge, so he's not going that crazy. But the Small John and Sansa here both have renown, so it's not that fun. On the plus side, Night's Watch does have the wall and plenty of icons, so that's one thing they can do, and they have Castle Black, so a lot of defense. If there wasn't stealth and the fact that on the third challenge everything's +2, I would even say they have half a chance. So Night's Watch is going first here in round 2 and passing challenges as you do. And Chris is now going to have to find a way to navigate this challenges phase to get the maximum out of it. And he has that plot revealed, which means he can, for instance, do an intrigue, right, with Septum Ordain. This sounds kind of like the natural start, right? The one that has defense and you have like a monocon that does nothing, you just waste that challenge. But then if it's under defended, you can jump in Small John with his renown or something. That's the beauty of this plot. I think it's limit twice per phase. Can check now because can't highlight cards watching this video back. And that's the challenge that Chrissy goes for. It can be defended by 7. I mean, you may as well spend all the icons, not like they can do anything else, unless you have some way to bring in a practice blade or something. But I don't know, maybe you could tempt Chris into trying to win this one, and then there's a surprise Water Dancer sword or something like that. I mean, Night's Watch does have strength boosts. If you add Sansa, there's also the problem that Castle Black's still standing. But then you are standing one character that's not a Bicon. So yeah, nothing done here. And Rangers can't be statted. So I think Arya stealth is better used on the power challenge here perhaps. But Mira can go into this one. And then she, if she was in the first challenge, she would attack with 0 strength. That's exactly the kind that you maybe don't want to defend normally, but with this plot, it's a bit awkward. Is he gonna waste another challenge and then just go all in on power? Make sure he wins. Depends, I guess, if there's another superior claim. One discarded for intrigue is actually kind of the perfect hit you can get as Night's Watch, so chances are that there's not a second one. Stealth result. Guess stealth still slightly matters because there could be an attachment coming in. Faction cards dealt though. So not that easy. Two Seasoned Woodsmen, so they could actually get a Water Dancer Sword and get 2 gold for ambushing Practice Blade in theory. Yeah, what does Alex do here? Does he defend with Old Forest Hunter? Could defend with Benjen and trigger Castle Black, so he's still there for the power challenge, can be stealthed. Although I guess he's calculating whether the +2 on power challenge, if he does it then, makes any kind of difference. He kind of has to stand him now, right? Yeah. Do you lose this or do you try to win it still with a plot? So the big Seasoned Woodsman can be stealthed by Arya. So there would be 11 defense on the power challenge. So yeah, I think he has plenty actually. He can try to put Sansa in to win this one already. And there's no super nice claim soak. I guess Old Forest Hunter maybe. Not sure what the other attachment is on Seasoned Woodsman here. The one with attachments go. That lets him replay them for more draw. $18. Yeah, so even if hypothetically Craster was triggered, which he won't be, it's nowhere near. And there is another superior claim. Well, that's gonna be rough now, that's so close to victory. Wall is defended and dominance is there just to get some power on the faction guard to take again, but from 12, I mean, if you could play Morgulis and kill at least Sansa away along with Small John, and then Chrissy plays his what's it called, Wolves to get Summer and starts playing again. Maybe you stall long enough and then get a dominant board and nothing is pushed through, but the fact that she's duped, I mean, plan's not gonna work. And also that plan, I mean, Night's Watch wall defense locks decks quite nicely with just overwhelming the board with charts that have strength increases and +1 from the wall and everything. But the fact that you can just do 2 challenges and then everyone that has a power icon just goes in to the power with +2 on everything means that it's so difficult to defend the crossing challenge still, even with all of that. Although maybe Craven or something would help. So Alex, I'm sure he doesn't really enjoy going first that much, but if he goes second, then Summer's gonna come in. Actually, there's nothing for Summer to take, so maybe it doesn't matter that much. But it is an extra body that comes in for free, right? But this way, Greywind comes in. That's stealth and a cancel. Now cancel probably doesn't matter that much. So I think she's just gonna stay on her to give her stealth. And yeah, Rangers can be stealthed, but if Benjen survives. But what about the Seasoned Woodsman? They can be stealthed just fine. Well, an underground vault is not even turned on here. Some Cravens. By the way, I said earlier Milk on Greyjohn was pretty good, but wouldn't be too bad on Septum Ordain either, would it? Arya just survives the reset and Sansa has Renown. But then Greyjohn would have Intimidate. Can even maybe force some unopposed that happens because of that. Now what can he do here? Needs a lot to stop everything. Craven and Sansa, good start. Come on. Gaining gold, okay. Is there a catapult in this deck, I wonder? That could have been used to kill Small John if he went in one of the earlier challenges. Malin, yeah. Malin is a good card, but in comes duped Caitlyn, that's not fun. Now what? Passing immediately, okay. Also needs to pass quickly to have time to come back if he does survive. And let's see the situation. So the problem now is if you do a challenge like an intrigue with Septum Ordained, then Malin can call Caitlyn and Sansa on the power challenge and maybe you can defend it. Have to get around Gravewind also though. But there's two stats here, so what's the situation on just doing power even with -1? So on defense we have 15, 17 with Castle Black, and on the attack it would be 12 with 2 stealths available. So Seasoned Woodsman can be stealthed. It's missing one, right? Oh no, it's not missing one because when Caitlyn's in the challenge, Castle Black is not a thing. So it is enough. If we pass the action windows, then once Caitlyn is in the challenge, not much can happen. Something can still happen, but she does block Valyrian still, so no strength boosts either, right? Yeah, it's just gonna start with power. Has 2 renown. That's all he needs. Now is there enough defense somehow? I see 11. Noble lineage would have needed to come in earlier, but it can't because there's still another stat that wasn't even used here. So even if that was on Craster, it's not happening. Yeah, thinking about it, may as well take a minute, think if there's any out. But Caitlyn's ability ruins everything. If Caitlyn's ability wasn't there, I mean, then Chrissy would need to do things a little bit differently. Leave the power challenge until last, probably. Or I guess depending on what Malin did also. Yeah, doesn't have a defense. That's how it goes. That's how it goes most of the time, to be fair. So that's game 4. this one, so it's now at this point 4-1 in favor of Norway. 3-1, sorry, in favor of Norway. So USA needs to have a better second half of the tournament, but they do have some of their better matchups there, so still all in the balance.